We are back with 428 Shibuya Scramble. All we have to do now is complete Osawa's and Minorikawa's storylines. But oh no, a keep out. And a choice that potentially goes somewhere. I guess. What if I double down and wait a little bit longer like I already did? Will anything happen as a result of this? Like, we talk to Osawa, he sends us away. Where might I know you from? Here and there. This is the same conversation, but from Minorikawa's own perspective. Please open up. No, we've already seen this. Hold your horses! So yeah, it really is cool to see this exact same text, but with this different, these different photos. One of those kinds of articles. What do you mean, those kinds of articles? Yeah, no parent would deny their child a chance to get an interview like this. But then the intercom cut off. What gives? I'm begging out here on my hands and knees. He wasn't actually. I love it. So this is where we get a card, or we give the card, and Osawa immediately throws it out. Yeah, Fakafan, we wouldn't have seen this angle because we were last looking at this from Osawa's perspective, which is pretty great. So it says, give me your business card. Like, the man had a look on his face. Let's go back a little bit then. This had to be Kenji Osawa then. Wait, hold on. Osawa? Now Minorikawa recognized him. This was Kenji Osawa, the preeminent virologist who worked for Okoshi Pharmaceutical. Four-star General Gossip had run a scandalous article on him in the past. Minorikawa remembered reading it. He held out his business card, and Osawa snatched it from him. The virologist started to head back into his house. Please see that they get back to me, Mr. Osawa, Minorikawa shouted after him, and then he noticed something odd. It was the middle of the afternoon, but every window in the house had its curtains drawn. That, combined with Osawa's demeanor, set off alarm bells in Minorikawa's head. He knew he was onto something, but he couldn't linger at the Osawa residence any longer than he already had. Well, Fakafan, Osawa didn't get arrested the time he was having this conversation. He got arrested... Oh no, you're right, Minorikawa noticed him, but we still were able to redo that scene. Hello there, insane buffoon. So yeah, he couldn't linger any longer than he already had. He needed to get to that theater ASAP. He hurried back to his taxi and told Kimizuka to go. And meanwhile, Osawa threw out our card, so to hell with all that, right? But we have our save. We have new content now. A few minutes later, the rear tires skidded sharply as the cab came to a stop beside a different curb. The trip from Shoto to the theater in Sakuragaoka had taken almost no time at all. Here we are, sir, Kimizuka announced. Wow, that was fast. Or that was fast. Still, Minorikawa was at least 5 minutes behind schedule. He hoped he'd still be able to get the interview with ORI. Aw, you're... man... Oh, wait, no, this could be okay, though. We got this with Osawa, right? Hello there, Luffy. Yeah, I might be able to... I don't know, I have 2 keep outs. Oh, whoops, that was the triangle, not square. I want square and X. Will this help me? Ha-ha! Doing it! Pay the driver. Oh no, Kimizuka said, waving a hand. Don't worry about the fare. Huh? Why not? There's still plenty left over from what you paid me earlier, sir. That's what I meant by special fare. That's right. He paid Kimizuka a whole 10,000 yen for taking him to Endo Electronics earlier. But, I mean, I'm not the sort of person to keep the change, as it were, Kimizuka said. Minorikawa felt a surge of pride at those words. You're my kind of guy, Mr. Kimizuka. You're my #1 guy. A man on the job can always count on Hachiro Kimizuka's taxi, the driver grinned. Now go on, go. Thank you. I have a feeling we'll meet again. Kimizuka, you're all right. As Minorukawa entered the theater lobby, he saw a bunch of flower bouquets, patrons' gifts of appreciation. Among the names of the senders were celebrities he recognized. The largest of the bouquets was sent by Koichi Nakamura of the Secret Society. Really? Chunsoft? Really? Subtle. The next largest came from Marutaro Ishihara, from Spike, from the government organization Joyart? Following that were those from actress Baraka Rose, popular scenario writer Ibisu Ippomatsu, Tohoku Busters Bus Tours Company Ltd., bus guide Kimiko Amo, professional baseball player Masa Narikio, the ventriloquist Chinshin, ukulele player Hawaii Matsuda, online TV critic Genzo Akitsu, and so on. Alright. Evidently, the Wandering Angels were a pretty popular acting troupe. Episode 4. Novice actor Takuya Amo, despite his nervousness, gave a creditable performance as Shido as the production got underway, but as the show continued, his inexperience became apparent. He went on stage for the big wire action scene, having forgotten to attach himself to the rigging. Tozuka was quick to act, rushing on stage in the improvised role of Assassin with an Edo accent #1, and fixing a rope to Amo's back during the confusion. Continued in episode 5. That's freaking brilliant. Also, suddenly, Assassin #1. Why not? People were setting out pamphlets and flyers out on a nearby table. They were setting them out. Oof, a little redundant there. There was a palpable tension in the air. The crew seemed skittish as they went about their work. "He's late!" someone shouted all of a sudden. It was a man over in one corner of the lobby, railing angrily to nobody in particular. "Why the hell hasn't that journalist shown up yet for the interview?" Looked like he'd been waiting on Minorukawa then. "What's his deal, pulling this while we're this busy?" Guess that's Shinosuke Owari. "I've been busy myself," Minorukawa said, keeping his composure. "Trust me, I know how it goes." "Huh? Who the hell are you?" "I'm the guy you've been waiting for, Mr. Owari." The man glared at him. "It's Owari," he said. "Anyway, I'm Minorukawa. Sorry to keep you waiting." Though, really, a short wait is a small price to pay for the chance to be interviewed by me. "Well, I hope you appreciate how valuable my time is now that you're taking it," snapped Owari. "Wow, someone sure has a high opinion of himself," Minorukawa replied. Jeez, the hypocrisy here. He marched up to Owari. "Damn right I do. I'm Shinosuke Owari." The theater man got right up in Minorukawa's face. "Like anyone even cares!" A jolt of tension sparked between the two men. Around this time, there's a similar jolt of tension between the two other people, Kenji Osawa and Mamoru Tanaka. So this is how we get back. I actually was wondering how we were supposed to do Osawa's story, but this is the way. "Nani? I beg your pardon," a woman interrupted, "but Mr. Owari does have a schedule to keep." "And who are you, Miss?" "Sukazawa. I'm the producer." "Well, listen, Sue, I'm in the middle of an interview here. Please don't interrupt." "What? That's how you conduct an interview?" "That's right. This is how I roll." "Look, whatever," Owari growled. "Let's just do this already." "Fine by me." Alright. Well, whatever, we're getting our plot done. This is what Minorukawa's been out to do this entire game, get these particular interviews. The two men sat down at opposite sides of a table in the lobby. But Sukazawa spoke up again. "Mr. Owari, Mr. Owari, don't forget the meeting you have after this." "Yeah, handle that, would you?" Minorukawa let out a derisive snort. "It's like you're holding court," he said. "Do people actually hang around you with that kind of attitude? You have no right to judge my acting troupe." Minorukawa straightened up in his chair, a mocking smile on his lips. "Oh, so it's your acting troupe, huh?" he said. "Why not just play all the roles yourself? Heck, you could even be your own audience." How dare you!" Owari rose to his feet and made to leave, but Sukazawa herded him back down into his chair. Minorukawa continued as if he hadn't heard. "Just what is it that you do, anyway?" he asked. Owari raised an incredulous eyebrow. You don't know?" "No, why should I?" "You came to an interview without knowing anything about who you were interviewing?" "Yup." "That's it! Get out!" Owari roared and pointed angrily toward the exit. "How dare an unmannered clod like you come in here and waste my time?" Hey, who's being unmannered now? I came all the way out here to hear your story, didn't I? Why don't you get out? What? What is Minorukawa doing? Minorukawa pointed at the exit as well. Why the hell should I have to leave? Ori demanded. You know, I bet you, because Osawa threw out our card, I bet you we were not supposed to wait at his place and just show up here on time. I bet you this is a bad end. Why should I have to leave? This is my house! Theater jargon for the theater itself, especially the main auditorium. Like the playhouse. Oh, this is a great shot. Look, just get out! This time both yelled and pointed toward the exit in unison. Sukazawa quickly interposed herself between them, forcing a smile. Gentlemen, please, calm down, she said. Then she turned to Minorukawa. You should be aware that Mr. Arai used to be a broadcast writer. Someone who writes for television or radio programs. A great show depends not only on the actor's performances, but also on the skills of the broadcast writer. He's responsible for a lot of big hits. You don't need to mention that, Arai grumbled. Nonetheless, Sukazawa rattled off the names of several shows. Minorukawa did indeed recognize many of them. He murmured. So how come you're running a failing theater now? Failing? Arai went red in the face. I'm not wrong, am I? You are absolutely the rudest person I have ever met. Yeah, really, Beta Bran. Minorukawa's method of make them angry enough that they'll chat or punch me is a very nuanced form of interview. What would a rank amateur like yourself know about theater? Arai's face was dark with rage, but Minorukawa didn't back down. Listen, this has nothing to do with how well your theater is or isn't doing, he snapped. The television world wouldn't accept you, so in order to retain your pride as an entertainer, you started doing theater. Wow, dude. That's gonna piss off a lot of people. Isn't that so? Don't act like you know anything. I've staked my entire life on the theater. It seemed as if Arai might throw a punch at any moment. Sure, a city theater might seem small time compared to TV, but you get a lot more of a response from it. Response? Oh, now that sounds interesting. Darn right, Arai exclaimed. You could see it from up on stage. So this is the real interview. There we go. The audience, you could see their faces. There was a passion in Arai's voice now. You can really feel it. When the audience is enjoying themselves, you can feel that energy. You can't get that from doing television. Thinking back on it now, my time spent working on TV, let's see, what's a good analogy? It's like being handed a towel that's already damp. No, that's not right. Okay, so a better analogy would be... have a good night under the North Star. And without further preamble, Arai began talking about his tribulations back in his broadcast writer days. Oh, maybe this worked better than I thought after all. Maybe it's not a bad end. Minorukawa smiled inwardly. Interview style works every time. The interview ended promptly after 15 minutes, the time that had been promised. Both men emerged from it as if from a daze. Minorukawa found himself staring Arai in the face, shaking him by the hand. So, what kind of story did I just get? He asked, speaking half to himself. You heard about one man in his life, and I have to admit, it was a good interview. Thanks. You have my gratitude. With a satisfied smile, Minorukawa closed his notebook. Right. Glad to hear that, then. Arai inclined his head, looking a bit bewildered. A flustered Sukazawa interrupted. Mr. Minorukawa, wasn't this interview for a piece about the performance? Huh? Minorukawa blinked. It's just that you were only asking about Mr. Arai, not about the performance itself, Sukazawa said. Oh, I see what you mean. Actually, I came here for a piece I'm going to be writing called Where Are They Now? Washed Up Broadcast Writer Showcase. Oh, no. I washed up? Arai was red in the face all over again. Oh, jeez, they went full anime. You bastard! How dare you! Forget everything I just told you. I do not give you my permission to use it in your magazine. You're too late. What? I've already heard your whole story. You should be grateful that I'll be writing a piece on it. You bastard! With a wild look in his eyes, Arai snatched up a hammer? Whoa, the stage crew had left nearby. Wait! Go ahead, hit me. Ouch! This is a hilarious choice. I get the feeling this is a non-choice, but... Chat, what should I do about this? I get the feeling I know which way we're gonna go, but... Let's find out. Wait. A is for wait, B is for go ahead, hit me. And C is for just ouch, like, preemptively, I guess. Watch out, man. We got full-on anime man ready to kick our asses, so choose wisely. I'm most curious. Yeah, speed lines and everything. This is gonna potentially be quite dangerous. So what are we going with? Freaking B. We got 1 vote for B. Hello there, Fool Arcana. 2 votes for B. Man, what a time to join the stream. Just, you have no context for this. Just, wait, hit me, ouch, with an angry anime lion guy. We got 3 votes for B. Yeah, stop trying to hit me and hit me. 4 for B. Alright, we're doing B, I figured. Go ahead, hit me. Oh, I'll hit you, alright. Or I wave the hammer menacingly. Yeah, it's a non-choice. But the attack came to a sudden halt as a ringtone startled him out of his fury. Hello there, Mark. Hold on a moment, Minurikawa said brightly. I have to take this. He whipped out his cell phone. Hello, Minurikawa speaking. This is Osawa. Oh! Wait, really? Wow, he'd called back a lot sooner than Minurikawa had expected. Have your daughters come home then? No. Actually, there's a favor I'd like to ask you. A favor? Minurikawa thought back to his visit to the Osawa residence. The drawn curtains, the stricken look on Osawa's face. Minurikawa's instincts had sensed something significant going on. Apparently, getting the full story wasn't going to come without some cost. A favor, huh? Is it something urgent? I'll pay whatever I have to. I just need you to look into something as quickly as possible. His voice had the telltale desperation of a man who'd been backed into a corner. Alright, Minurikawa said. I can help you out for a little while. Osawa hurriedly explained what he was after. The request was a strange one. He wanted Minurikawa to look into a scandalous article that 4-star general gossip had run about him in the past. What makes this so important? Do I have to say? I mean, you're asking me to look into something without explaining anything. He eyed Ori lurking nearby with obvious irritation. Minurikawa would need to calm down the erstwhile broadcast writer, or else his interview really would be for naught. He decided to bluff both men at the same time. Wow, dude. Let me just say one thing, he said into the phone. He made sure he spoke loud and clear so that Ori would overhear. I want to tell the world this story. No, I need to tell it. If I don't feel that way about something, no amount of money in the world will get me to write an article on it. That's my pride as a writer at work. Oh! Minurikawa could see Ori's aura of rage fading as he listened. The theater man looked surprised. Whew! Meanwhile, Osawa had decided to open up a bit. Alright, he said. I can't share all the details, but... Okay, he's in a talkative mood now. Good job, Minurikawa. See, this is going fine. The power balance of the entire world might be at stake here, Osawa continued, and I mean that quite literally. I can tell you more after you've done investigating, or after you're done. Wait, was he serious? How could the world's balance of power hinge on looking into some alleged marital affair? It was so absurd that Minurikawa had to fight the urge to burst out laughing. A person would need to be out of his mind to believe a story like that. But Minurikawa wasn't the average person. That's my secret, Osawa. I'm always out of my mind. And sometimes the truth was so ridiculous, it really was stranger than fiction. Osawa wasn't lying. Minurikawa's instincts told him that much. Alright, he said. I'll check the editing department's notes from back then. Minurikawa felt his excitement building. Things were really getting interesting. For the moment, he nearly forgot Toyama and his troubles. This is nuts, dude. Hello there, Eric. When he ended the call, Ori approached him and extended his hand. Listen, your methods might be a little extreme, but I can tell you take pride in your work. Of course I do. I'm sorry for getting so worked up. I bet you'd write a fine article about me. So please, Mr. Minurikawa, let the world know about me and my half-lived life. Minurikawa took the offered hand and shook it. Leave it to me. Once I'm done with it, you won't just be some washed-up nobody anymore. Mr. Ori, oh my god. It's Oi. Minorikawa grinned. Ooh, the luck on this guy. Minorikawa rushed out of the theater. He completed all the interviews that he could get done before 4 o'clock. Now he had an hour left to write it all up to convince the folks in the loan company that the gossip could stay afloat. Ah! He let out a roar, psyching himself up for the final push. Wow, a to be continued that's not a cliffhanger. Just like mission complete, next step. Okay. Damn. Yeah, really, Fakafan, this game is just about failing businesses. This is ridiculous. Hey there, Michael. So now we can go right back into Minorikawa's story because we gotta jump to Osawa. Boom. Doing it. Doing it. Hey there, Ichigo Berry. Osawa picked up his cell phone and dialed Tanaka's number. The phone rang several times. He listened grimly to the empty mechanical sound. Oh yeah, we were at this part. Preparing for disappointment, but then Tanaka picked up. What is it? Tanaka's voice sounded coldly in his ear. The tension was electric. Surge of outrage. He wanted to scream, but he took a deep breath and maintained control. Tanaka, where are you? Is Maria alright? Tanaka did not reply. The police told me. They said you were connected to the kidnapping. A soft chuckle came from the other end of the line. Ah, well. The police sure do know how to do their jobs. Oh my god! Tanaka's tone was unapologetic. He sounded nothing like the man Osawa thought he knew so well. Why would you do this? Money? Are you having money troubles? Money, Tanaka replied. I suppose that's part of it. Honestly, I doubt you'd understand. Do you have any idea what it's been like for me, doing our research together? You're always the one who takes center stage. The fruits of our success are all yours. Even though you couldn't have done any of it without me. The more he said, the more vitriol seethed into his words. Osawa's hands trembled as he clutched the phone. The taker can never understand how it feels to be taken from. You've hoarded so many things to yourself, so I'm taking some of them back. Damn, and with that he hung up. Hey, Tanaka! He immediately picks up again. Yes? Osawa dialed the number again, but Tanaka didn't pick up. Osawa racked his brain, thinking back on how Tanaka had been acting earlier that day. I don't know, in a silly manner, making food in your kitchen because you're too inept to do it yourself? Had there been anything unusual? Any clue at all, no matter how small? If he could find some hint, maybe he'd be able to find Maria and Hitomi. That was it! I had been suspicious of Tanaka all along, so much so that she'd planted a bug on him hidden in a tie clip. Her suspicions must have been pretty strong. Wait. Osawa recalled what Kajiwara had said. But still, if she is that worried, giving a tie clip as a gift is a bit... The words had struck Osawa as odd when he first heard them. I had never given him a tie clip. His heart gave a heavy throb in his chest. It couldn't be. No, it was impossible. That article from 4-Star General Gossip crept back into his mind. The article had talked about a man I had dated before she married Osawa. The man's identity was never revealed. Oh, could it have been Tanaka? Yo, this game. You've hoarded so many things to yourself, so I'm taking some of them back. Oh my god, Tanaka's cold words took on a new depth of meaning. Hey there, Dracologist. This is nuts. Osawa felt the foundations of his life begin to crumble. Were Tanaka and I accomplices in all this? No, wait. Just calm down. He couldn't let himself jump to conclusions. He needed to be more level-headed. Everything depended on it. If the two really were accomplices, why would I have planted a bug on Tanaka? What purpose would that serve? What could it mean? It was no use. Osawa couldn't think of how that made sense. First things first, he needed to establish what the relationship between Ai and Tanaka really was. Once he figured that out, he'd be able to get a better handle on the situation. Obviously, he couldn't just go and ask Ai directly. If she really were involved in all this, she certainly wouldn't tell him the truth. Yes. Osawa thought back to the business card he tossed into the trash. He didn't relish the thought of getting help from that scavenging hyena, but now was no time to be picky. If he wasn't able to leave the house, he needed someone else to do some of the investigating for him. The freelance writer, Minoru Minorikawa. He was Osawa's only hope. That was a much faster way to get to the end of the story. Ladies and gentlemen, we have completed 2 o'clock. It is now 3 o'clock. This person also killed my friend. Damn. Everyone in Shibuya is going to die. Was this an accident? Or an attack? He's after Hitomi Osawa! How many hours ago was she infected? Holy shit, this game is picking up. Wow. This is way too much. Trichologist, no, Tanaka is not a policeman. He's Osawa's assistant. Infection. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we have all 5 characters, so please give me your vote. I would like to see who we play as next. Continue with Osawa, Maria, Achi, Kano, or Minorikawa. Who's it gonna be? Place your votes, ladies and gentlemen. I am most curious. Hello there, Mewington. Okay, 1 vote for Maria. 1 vote for Osawa. Just move right along with Osawa. So 1 for Maria, 1 for Osawa. Do we have any more? 1 for Achi, 2 for Maria, 2 for Osawa. Hello there, Luke. 2 for Achi. Jeez. Okay, so 2 for everybody, and now 1 for Kano. And now 1 for Minorikawa. We have a 3-way tie right now, though. Do we have any more votes in any particular direction? A 3rd for Achi, a 3rd for Maria. 2 for Kano. Yeah, this is a very divided chat right now. It's between Achi and Maria right now, but it's still really close. Do we have any more input? Because if not, then I'll have to split the vote myself. I'm not seeing anything. I'll go with Achi. Kanan led them into a narrow back alley. The moment she stopped, Hitomi spoke up. Members of SOS don't come by here very much. Word has it that in this place, around 10 years ago, one man beat the crap out of 7 street toughs in the blink of an eye all by himself. Over time, people have offered various theories. That he was an assassin, that he was some foreign soldier, even that he might have been a ghost. And to this day, the urban legend lives on. Why was my sister kidnapped? Before I answer that, there's something I need to tell you, Kanan said. Her tone was cold and sharp. I've come to Japan because I'm on a mission. I'm not at liberty to discuss all the details. Alright? Hitomi gave a slight nod. To answer your question, Maria was kidnapped by mistake. What? Hitomi gasped. But why? Because this kidnapper isn't after Maria. They're after you. Who's after me? The mastermind behind this whole thing, Kanan said. Her tone was matter-of-fact. Whoa, hold on, Achi interrupted. What do they want Hitomi for? That I cannot say. Well then, who is this person? I can't tell you that either. You see, their sex, nationality, age, appearance, just about everything about them is shrouded in mystery. Oh, okay, so it's the boss of JoJo Part 5. Except for sex, you know nothing about this guy until way later. So there's honestly not much I can tell you. Achi and Hitomi stood dumbfounded. What gives, Achi said. So you're saying all you know is that this person is some lame name like Mastermind? Hitomi turned to whisper in his ear. Mastermind isn't actually their name. Originally used solely to refer to someone of remarkable intellect. Oh, because, yeah, mastermind. The term first took on its criminal connotations in the 19th century. Interesting. I'm here, Kanan spat, because I'm looking for revenge. Revenge? Hitomi asked. What for? This person also killed my friend. Damn. Well, so there's that preview line. Kanan's inscrutable eyes flashed with a threatening gleam. Earlier, you said that it was your fault my sister got kidnapped, Hitomi said. Kanan cast her eyes down. 4 days ago, I managed to learn this criminal's plan, so I got in touch with Maria and told her that you were going to be attacked at that party. So that's why she told me not to go. Hitomi's voice trembled as she spoke. I gave Maria a small GPS tracker to give to you, but I guess you never got it? Global Positioning System, a network of man-made satellites and ground-based control situations for providing geolocation data. Alternately, a device that makes use of said system. Modern cell phones and vehicle navigation systems use the GPS. This is kinda clever. Hitomi shook her head. I see. She must still have it then. Wait, so then my sister... The color drained from Hitomi's face as she understood. Yes, Kanan replied. Maria acted as a decoy and let herself get kidnapped in your stead. Hitomi swayed on her feet, shocked to the verge of fainting. Achi hurriedly reached out and caught her in his arms. But wait, he said to Kanan as he held Hitomi up. I don't get that either. Why didn't neither of them go? Then nobody would have been kidnapped, right? I mean, why did her sister need to go and act as a decoy? Kanan let out a tiny sigh. If she hadn't gone to the party, the kidnappers would have just found some other opportunity to come after her. Ah, okay, Achi nodded. That sort of makes sense. I'm betting that Maria's plan was to use the GPS to lead me to these guys' hideout. She wanted to keep her sister safe and also figured she could help me with my mission. It's the sort of scheme she'd think of. So then can't you use the GPS to locate Hitomi's sister? Achi asked. Kanan shook her head. The GPS hasn't been powered on since she was kidnapped. It's possible the kidnappers took it from her. Wait, what? So after all that, even you can't find Maria? Achi slumped his shoulders in disappointment. I didn't say that. What do you mean? I got some intel from those syndicate members we met earlier. Apparently, sometime this morning, they put Maria into a blue minivan, and since then they've been moving her all around Shibuya. Achi and Hitomi exchanged glances at the mention of the blue minivan. Unfortunately, Kanan continued, those operatives didn't know what the current situation was exactly. Oh, interesting, Meowington. The GPS is the necklace? Maybe, but how would it have gotten to the thrift shop, though? So we're back to the blue van, then. Achi hurriedly explained what they'd been through so far. He mentioned how they'd first seen the blue van where the kidnappers had told Hitomi to find it. He also described how first the man with the cane and then a host of others had come after them. He got a little sidetracked here and there, but Kanan quietly listened to the end. I see, she muttered. So then what do you think? Achi asked. Seems like we messed up their scheme a little, huh? Whatever the case, this man with the cane concerns me, Kanan said. I doubt he's working with the others. I don't know what that means. Maybe that's it. Some guy who isn't involved butts in and it throws off their whole plan. Kanan nodded in agreement. Because you and that man with the cane showed up, she said, they couldn't leave the minivan where it was. They took a sensible precaution. But then if you think about it, isn't this an opportunity for us to turn the tables on Mr. Mastermind? Kanan flashed him a faint speculative smile. I wonder about that. Aw, come on, Achi grumbled. You're such a buzzkill. Any well-made plan is a good, solid outline, which means that even after it has come to fruition, it's easy to trace things back to the planner. Is that how that works? By contrast, if you achieve your goals using accidental means, the outline becomes blurred, and it makes it harder for anyone outside looking in to grasp what the actual plan is. Achi swallowed hard as he took in the gravity of the situation. Well, but I mean, like, if there's an accident, people are gonna for sure panic. Plan or not. The corners of Kanan's lips curled up. "Typically, I suppose," she said. "But the people who are after Hitomi, not only have they put together a perfect plan, they've purposely left certain tiny holes in it. And so we can't even figure out who they are. The outline of the plan is always too blurry." Achi had no response to that. It was like he was hearing about some completely different world beyond the one he knew. A world you may not understand. If what Kanan had said was true, he'd been dealing with opponents that were on a level way above his own. "In any event, since these people are after you, it'd be best if you didn't wander around town anymore," Kanan told him. By now, Hitomi had recovered. She stood up straight and shook her head. "No, I'm going to find that blue minivan. My sister is in danger because of me. I can't abandon her just to save myself." "Yeah, that's right." Achi patted Hitomi on the back. "And if that's what you're gonna do, then I don't care who we're up against. I'm with you in this until the end. Heck, it's too late for me to back out now. That ship has already failed. Achi, you're pretty good." Hitomi giggled despite herself. "It's already sailed, Achi." "Yeah." Kanan let out another little sigh. "Alright, just make sure you're extra careful," she said. "You can't count on getting bailed out of trouble like you have before." "I understand," Hitomi said. Her eyes showed no trace of doubt or fear. Kanan gave her a slight nod, then quickly disappeared down the alleyway. "Right then," Achi said. "Want to get back to looking for that minivan?" Then he stopped, remembering their previous efforts. If they just heedlessly wandered around town, they'd probably end up in the same trouble they'd encountered before. They'd get chased by the man with the cane, or by the kidnappers, and their search would be interrupted yet again. What should they do then? There had to be a better way. Achi happened to glance upward and caught sight of a surveillance camera installed on one of the streetlights. "That's it!" "Gah, I can't believe I didn't think of it before." Hitomi peered at him, startled by his sudden shouting. "We just need to use my old man's surveillance cameras, and this'll be a breeze. It'll be like, the florist in Yakuza." Achi took Hitomi by the hand and started running. His destination? The security camera monitoring room in Dogenzaka. Okay. Achi didn't slow his pace until they were nearing their destination. Then he turned to look back at Hitomi. He was about to ask if she was doing alright when someone close at hand called out to him. Whoa! Dude, this is pay dirt from Inurikawa. "Hey, mind if I ask you something? Have you ever heard of SOS? Achi stopped in his tracks as a stranger stepped in front of him. The guy looked too old to be picking a fight with SOS. Achi regarded him with suspicion. "Oh wow, Ayakamiki poster? Nice." "Yeah? Why do you ask?" "Do you happen to be a member yourself?" No, not anymore." The man's eyes flashed with a gleam of recognition. Did this guy know who he was? With a broad grin, the stranger took a step closer. Achi's heart sank. He couldn't afford to get caught up in some new hassle right now. Hitomi flashed him a worried look. "Let's go." "No! Achi and Hitomi dodged past the man and hurried onward. You know that we just missed something that we could have dealt with Minurikawa's own storyline. Even if the guy was harmless, they needed to be on their guard. There was no telling just how many thugs and assassins were looking for Hitomi. Oh, they just lost him. Rather than head directly for the surveillance building, Achi decided he'd better make sure the stranger wasn't up to something. Hitomi followed as he slipped quickly into a back alley. There was no indication that the man was following them. "What was that guy's deal?" Hitomi asked. "No idea. But he sure seemed kind of fishy. Doesn't look like he's coming after us, though." They took a quick detour through another seedy back alley. Then, as they were starting to head toward their original destination, Achi felt a sudden searing pain in his back. Is this guaranteed bad ending unless I play someone else's story? "Jeez, who are you?" "Ah!" Glancing over his shoulder, he discovered that one of the foreign syndicate members had crept up and struck him from behind. So I guess we have to have Minurikawa not approach Achi then? Oh no. I've been stabbed. "Ah!" Hitomi screamed. Another man had suddenly appeared, grabbing her by the arms. "Hitomi." Achi tried to reach out to her, but his arm was leaden. His body refused to obey his commands. Jeez, that thing's really in there. As the attacker wrenched the knife from his back, Achi felt the blood gushing out of his wound. The two men started to drag Hitomi away. Damn it! He tried to pursue them, but his legs faltered and couldn't find their footing. He was losing blood so fast he was starting to fade from consciousness. Achi could only watch, impotently, as Hitomi was dragged further and further away. Yeah, that ending sucks. Bad end. Stabbed by a kidnapper. Achi got stabbed, caught in a surprise attack by one of the kidnappers. He could only watch helplessly as Hitomi was taken away. If that weird guy hadn't tried to talk to him, Achi would never have taken the risk of wandering through the alleys. But how can you keep that guy from wanting to interview Achi? Okay. Okay. And we didn't have any choices in this one either. It was just press X until you lose. Damn, this game's cold. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, do we select Minorikawa to try to fix this storyline with Achi, or do you just want to take a look at someone else's story? We have Kano, Minorikawa, Osawa, and Maria. So how is this going to be, ladies and gentlemen? What would you like? Yeah, right, Meowington? Too bad I changed it to Achi for the tiebreaker. Achi's died in a bunch of his endings. I think Kano's died in, like, 2. Achi's been, I think, stabbed in 2 of them. Yeah, bad end. Majima got the drop on you. No freaking kidding. So yeah, who are we going to play as next? We got 1 vote for Maria, 1 for Minorikawa, 2 for Maria, 2 for Minorikawa, 3 for Maria. It's like alternating every single time. 3 for Minorikawa. It's like just all the M's. Yeah, I'm not a hipster, I'm sorry, but Achi's ship has sailed. I must go in a different direction. 4 for Minorikawa, 5 for Minorikawa. And then we're going back up to Maria. Minorikawa again. Alright, we're gonna fix the situation, I guess. Wait a second. I feel like there's something I'm forgetting. Gah! Minorikawa stopped and let out a cry of frustration. Daisuke Endo had asked him for a favor after their interview was done. Oh yeah, tell him about the dryer or whatever it was. He promised to tell the Wandering Angels that the dry ice machine they'd purchased was defective. Okay, dry ice. Also, episode 5? Yeah. At last, the climax of the play drew near. There was a whole string of troubles, but the cast soldiered on, and it looked like things were going to end alright. Then, backstage, Bando noticed that the dry ice machine was acting strangely. Even after it had been turned off, the machine continued to churn out more dry ice. The producer, Sukazawa, demanded that the defective device be returned immediately, and so Tozuka, Bando, and Amo loaded it into their vehicle and left the theater. Continued in episode 6. I love that all of these episodes are just the behind-the-scenes stuff and we know nothing about the actual play. Hey there, Living Corpse. Well, damn. That had completely slipped his mind. If he recalled correctly, the issue was that once the machine started making dry ice, it wouldn't stop. If he ran back to the theater now, he'd lose about 10 minutes. Minorikawa checked his wristwatch. The loan people would be coming by the editing office before too long. He needed to prove to them that next month's issue of 4-Star General Gossip was well underway, or else they'd refuse to wait any longer for repayment. And to do that, he needed to fill a minimum of 6 of the 12 remaining blank pages. He couldn't afford to waste even a single second. This was an awkward position to be in. He needed to keep his promise to Endo, but he also needed to spend his time wisely. Bah! I guess I don't have a choice. There's nothing he could do about it having forgotten. He hurried to the cafe. He'd agreed to take on a responsibility. He headed back for the theater. Okay, so this is where we save Achi's life or not, but where was Achi? Was he closer to the cafe or for the theater? We should probably double back, right? Chat, what should I do with this one? I'm actually curious here. A is for just going on forward, and B is for going back. I think we're supposed to go back, but let me know what you think. Any options? 1 vote for A. If we run into Achi and then nothing comes of it, I'm just gonna double back and choose the other option, by the way. 1 for B. So we're tied. 2 for B. Which one is the dry ice? The dry ice is back to the theater to tell him about it. Hey, the dry ice will create a mist for Archie to use later. Yeah, we're mostly going with B, though. When he got there, he flagged down the first guy he saw to tell him about the dry ice machine. Hey, make sure you remember what I'm about to tell you, okay? The dry ice machine is broken. The man stared back at him blankly, but Minorikawa just forged ahead. Got it? The dry ice machine is broken. It needs to go back to the electronics store. Make sure you let the folks in charge here know. His obligation met, he hurried back to the cafe to get back to work on his copy. Oh, damn it. So we should have gone forward. I'll see what this scene does for us and then undo. Along the way, he caught sight of a young couple running. They seemed like an odd pair. The girl looked prim and proper, while the boy struck him as a bit thuggish. In fact, the boy's clothing was very much in the style worn by Shibuya street gangs. Maybe he'd know something about SOS. Hurrying to cross their path, Minorikawa called out to the pair. So here we go. They stopped eyeing him warily. If the kid had once been part of the group, he ought to be able to provide some background anyhow. Formulating his next question, but nope, let's go. And they were running away, with an amusing pan. Hey! But the pair paid him no heed. In a moment, they had vanished down an alley. The story about SOS would have to wait till later, then. So that was that scene. I'm gonna go back. Yeah, I'm gonna go back. Because we're hurrying into the cafe anyway. Well, we got to see that scene, so alright. Sorry, Endo. Sorry, Ori. You're gonna just have to let this one slide. I've got Toyama's life on the line here. And that was it. And here we are. Did it. He opened the door to the cafe with the practice of a regular. Welcome. The waitress only got that far before her face fell. You again? Hey, hurry up and get me a seat. She grinned wickedly. I'm terribly sorry, sir, but we're all full at the moment. He looked around. All the seats were indeed filled. As you can see, sir. Really now? The waitress's grin widened with triumph. Yes, sir. Fine, I'll just write here. Let me get some power. Oh my god, right in front of the door, what an asshole. Jamming his power cable into a nearby outlet, Minorikawa plunked himself right down on the floor and booted up his laptop. The waitress watched in dismay, then turned to stare vacantly up at the ceiling. Just do whatever you want, she muttered vaguely. What a great shot. You know, a person can only get away with being obnoxious for so long. Sooner or later, someone's likely to call the police. Hey! Minorikawa looked up from his work, startled to see the burning hammer salesman standing over him. You're Mr. Yanagishita. Thank you so much for stopping by earlier. Are you going to write your article here? Yanagishita eyed Minorikawa's computer. Ooh, that's the latest model, isn't it? Look, I got no time to talk right now. Minorikawa opened the file with his half-written copy. Ooh, what's this? Chaos at Bogus Weight Loss Drink Sales Demo. Yanagishita read the copy out loud. The organizer, Junichi Yanagishita, didn't merely have a whiff of deceit about him. His breath also stunk. So he's a hack writer, or a schlock writer after all. Sound good, Minorikawa asked? I just wanted to make sure I gave an accurate impression. Oh, I love what you've done with it. This is a great copy. Fantastic. Yanagishita turned to look at him with a manic grin. What? Yeah, isn't it? In a flash, Yanagishita's face went from grinning to livid. Oh god, we've never seen angry Yanagishita. Oh, Jesus. Like hell it is! You think I'm gonna just let you write something like that? Oh! This guy's the best! Snatching up the computer, Yanagishita bolted out of the cafe. It's so stupid. Hey, get back here! Minorikawa leapt to his feet and rushed off in pursuit. Oh, man. Wow. As he sprinted madly along, Yanagishita turned down a narrow alley. Minorikawa stayed close behind, desperate not to lose sight of him. His quarry began to weave his way through the back alleys of Shibuya. This guy clearly knew his way around town. By Miyashita Park, they slipped up onto a pedestrian bridge. Just where the heck was this idiot going? Oh, he's throwing the computer. Halfway across the overpass. Oh no! Yanagishi just suddenly stopped. Confused, Minorukawa stopped as well. Give that back, he called. The next moment, Yanagishi flashed a mocking grin and dangled the laptop over the railing. Uh-oh. Minorukawa lunged toward him, but it was already too late. The laptop left Yanagishi's hand and went spinning down through the air. Then, as the two men struggled, Yanagishi himself toppled over the railing. Oh no. This is the worst ending. Without hesitating, Minorukawa jumped down as well. Oh! Whoa! God! Ooh! What? That's impossible! Minorukawa landed hard. Was that on the curb? Dead? As he struggled to regain his breath, he looked around and saw Yanagishi beside him. Incredibly, the laptop was safe in the charlatan's grasp. Apparently, he'd somehow managed to catch it in midair. So you idiots just jumped off a bridge and that was it? Before Minorukawa could be too relieved, however, Yanagishi got to his feet and took off running again. How? How? Is he immortal? Get back here, you little weasel! I don't think so! This Yanagishi guy was infuriating. That and he was really fast. I guess he would be fast, but like, damn, he's still grinning? This guy's the best. Minorukawa considered himself a decent runner, but he couldn't manage to gain on Yanagishi. If running away was a competitive sport, the guy would be a world-class superstar. As he ran along, a peculiar thought occurred to him. Hold on a minute. If he hates my copy that much, shouldn't he have wanted my computer to break? Why did he go out of his way to catch it like that? It made no sense at all. Hey! Minorukawa shouted between gasping breaths. What are you planning to do with my laptop? Yanagishi glanced back at him. Gonna sell it. Oh. Sorry about this. What? Minorukawa was taken aback. Consider it compensation for defamation of character. But he's literally, well, the breath's thinking, I guess, but he literally is a scammer, so I don't know. In the civil sense, the act of unlawfully damaging another person's character or reputation in the public eye. In the criminal sense, the act of disseminating damaging facts about an individual to an unspecified large number of people. Come on, get real! It can't be defamation if the article hasn't run yet. Also, if it's true. Then consider it an advance on the compensation. This was so nonsensical it made Minorukawa's head hurt. But now at least he knew why Yanagishi had dived after the computer. This is absolutely insane. What? He's really ahead. The thief continued to weave his way through the side streets. His speed didn't diminish in the slightest. Damn it, this guy has too much experience running away. Minorukawa's stamina began to fade, and finally he lost sight of his quarry. Oh, this sucks. But that didn't mean he was ready to give up the search. There were articles on that computer that were right on the verge of completion. Whatever it took, he had to get it back. Yanagishi had said he was going to sell it. Where could he be headed then? Probably he was headed to the sales demo venue. Probably to a knick-knack shop. Probably to Endo Electronics. Oh, it's gotta be Endo Electronics, but who the hell knows, right? So A is back to home base. B is to a knick-knack shop, which there's a chance. Or C, there's Endo Electronics, which is, in my opinion, more likely, but who knows, right? So what are we chewing? What are we chewing? The scenery. So which are we choosing? A, B, or C, baby? Do we have any thoughts on this one? We have one vote for C. 2 for C. Anything else? Yeah, B for second choice after C, for real. 1 vote for B. 3 for C, because Achi's there? That is true, Achi is going to Endo. That's a good point. But B's starting to overtake this, so I'm going to have to go with B, even though it probably is C. So, any other options for this one? Yeah, B does seem like the leading choice. I'm not too happy with that one, but I'm going with it. Knick-knack shop. Minorikawa recalled seeing one near the Burning Hammer demo site. Oh yeah, where Miku kicked his ass. He also recalled seeing a poster outside the place that read, "We buy computers at top prices." Wow, okay. PC. Money. Damn. The guy had led him on a wild goose chase. That shop was surely where he was going to sell the laptop. Gulping a deep breath, he headed in that direction. Okay. We'll see where this takes us. There you are, Yanagishita. Minorikawa burst into the shop on Center Guy, an accusing finger pointed squarely at the thief. Listen, there's no way I'm buying a computer that doesn't have a power cable. Wow, it actually was a knick-knack shop. Damn, chat, you proved me wrong. Details, details. All you sell here is junk anyway. Yanagishita and shopkeeper had gotten into an argument. Minorikawa recognized the shopkeeper. It was a guy he'd run into on the roadside earlier. That computer belongs to me, Minorikawa shouted as he marched up to them. Give it back. Yanagishita clutched the laptop to his chest. Nuh-uh! I need the money! Knock it off. You're acting like a child. Minorikawa tried to slap him out of his tantrum, but Yanagishita ducked to avoid the blow. And then, bizarrely, Yanagishita froze. Whoa. A fierce gleam came to his eyes. He broke into an incomprehensible stammer. That's it! Yanagishita snatched up a flyer that his gaze had fixed on. Iron stomach, huh? This right here is my little bluebird of happiness, he cried. You know what? You can have this. Yanagishita shoved the laptop into Minorikawa's arms. Ha 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 ha! And welcome to it, you idiot! I don't need no worthless computer. You're the idiot, Buster! Minorikawa smacked Yanagishita right across the face. Ouch! Hitting him felt good. He decided to do it again. Minorikawa shoved Yanagishita toward the shopkeeper. Hand this guy over to the police, he said. Eep! No, not the police, Yanagishita pleaded. Can it, you thief? You tried to rip me off, and you have no idea how much is riding on my work. Oh, Meowington, this guy's a surveillance guy? I mean, it's not Ento, but, like, he's definitely up to something, right? You deserve 10,000 deaths. Honestly, you'd think the dying once would be sufficient. Thanks. 10,000? Isn't that taking things just a little too far? I'm sorry already, I give up. Finally, the guy was ready to surrender. Minorikawa let his guard down for just a moment. Like hell I am! Switching gears in an instant, Yanagishita took off running at full speed. This again. Get back here, you bastard! Minorikawa was already in pursuit. This is nuts, man. Hey guys, want to go to the Parco Part 2 building? He stuck with Yanagishita as far as Koendori before losing track of him. The guy sure knew how to make a getaway. Breathing hard, Minorikawa stopped and took a look around the area. Ayakamiki? As he did, he heard a cell phone ringtone from somewhere nearby. It was a new single from the pop singer Ayakamiki. Could that be Yanagishita's phone? Huh. Could be. Somehow he struck Minorikawa as the type of guy who'd have a ringtone like that. It seemed worth looking into, anyhow. He had nothing else to go on. Minorikawa shifted his gaze around, trying to locate the source of the sound. Whoa, what? What? Did we get hit by a car? Suddenly a massive fiery blast knocked him from his feet? Excuse me? Hello there, Cat Sith. By the time he realized it was an explosion, his senses were already shattered. What just happened? He couldn't see. He couldn't hear. He couldn't move his body. Where am I? For a while, all he could feel was an intense pain, but soon even that faded away. And then, there was only darkness. Looks like we gotta play still somebody else's story. Wow. An unexpected explosion. Chasing Yanagishita led Minorikawa to the wrong place at exactly the wrong time. This wouldn't have happened if Yanagishita hadn't run when he did. If the MMA fighter Miku Morita comes to the knick-knack shop, she'll interrupt their argument and things might turn out differently. So somebody's gotta meet Miku, I guess. That was a surprise. Alright. Well, as I was doing before I was so rudely interrupted, back to Achi. Because now Minorikawa does not pursue them. Did you want to walk? I'll be alright. Ah, Achi, look out! Looking ahead again, Achi saw that they were bearing down on a young grade school girl. Her head hung in dismay. Achi hurriedly caught the girl up in his arms. What? What, is he just gonna take her with him? Or took a quick leap to one side. Ladies and gentlemen, grade school girl who may or may not be Hana. Do we just grab her and... I don't know what that means. Grab her so as not to knock her over, or grab her and take her with us? I don't know. Or leap to the side. Dodge in an agile fashion. How are we doing this? So A or B, ladies and gentlemen. A stands for hurriedly, and B stands for took a quick leap. Hello there, Exodia. So what are we doing with this, choice? One vote for A. Pretty rockin' music, by the way. Oh wow, suddenly, like, 3 votes for A. A, because kidnapping. A, everyone's getting kidnapped today. Alright. God damn, and it is Hana. Achi hurriedly caught the girl up in his arms, and Atomi's like, what? The maneuver kept her out of harm's way, but the momentum swung her high into the air. She dropped the sheaf of paper she was carrying. As luck would have it, the papers fell amidst the trash scattered alongside the road. Whoops, sorry! Achi stopped to gather up the sheets of paper, noting that each was adorned with some sort of writing. Here, looks like they got kinda messed up, though. The pages had landed in some kind of spilled liquid. Most of them had gotten stained. That's alright, the girl said gloomily. You should just throw them away. It's not like I could sell them now anyway. Ooh, should we have leaped to the side? You're gonna sell them? Hitomi asked. We're sorry, do you think you'd be able to redo them? Achi, is there a stationery store around here? Yeah, up at the top of Dogonzaka, she said. Here. He took a 5,000 yen note from his wallet and offered it to the girl. To buy new paper. I know I can't replace the stuff you wrote, but... And the girl eyed the money doubtfully. But, it's fine, go ahead, take it. Well, thank you very much. Okay. The little girl spoke with surprising formality. Then she turned and headed up to Dogonzaka. Alright. Achi gathered up the trash and tossed it into a garbage bin before he and Atomi continued on their way. So we definitely just delayed her trip. So that'll affect Osawa or Minorikawa? Then again, Toyama's running into everybody's story, so it could even affect Maria, who knows. Achi led Atomi to an old multi-tenant building. They hurried inside and headed up the stairs. Behind the reception window on the second floor sat the custodian, sleeping on the job. Like a bat, upside down. Yukinori Kitajima. His main job is overseeing the monitoring room for the local surveillance cameras, but on the side, he also works as a novelist and game scenario writer. He often sleeps on the job during his free time, but sometimes while he's asleep he gets his writing done. What? Just recently, a certain game was released, set in Shibuya, but since he wrote the scenario and emailed it to the game company while he was asleep, he didn't know about it until just the other day. A little meta there, but... okay. Hey, wake up, man! Achi gave the window a tap and the man woke with a start. Huh? Achichi? Don't scare me like that. That's one chi too many, and wow, you sure seem to have a lot of free time on your hands. Yeah, no one's been by to check today. But that's not so bad, right? I mean, I guess it is the surveillance room, but still? The man let out a big yawn. My dad asked me to come down here and check on security monitors, actually, Achi said. Sorry to bother you when you're busy, Hitomi added with a polite bow. Huh? Who are you? You with Achichi? I'm Hitomi Osawa. It's nice to meet you. Oh ho ho! What, you Achichi's girlfriend? Again, too many cheese there, and that's none of your business. Just let me have the key. Hoping his blush wasn't too obvious, Achi mimed unlocking a door. You won't answer a simple question? You want me to hand over the key? Yes, I'm his girlfriend, Hitomi said. We just started dating. Achi's like, what? So I'm sure I'll be seeing more of you, sir. She flashed a winning smile. Oh, well, what a surprise. Never thought Achichi could land a fine lady like yourself. Hey, the surprised custodian held out the key. Good for you, Achichi. Still one chi too many there. But yeah, dating. Achi gazed into Hitomi's face, even more surprised than the custodian. The key dangled, swaying to and fro like a pendulum between Achi and the man behind the counter. Achi, Hitomi said, nudging him in the side with her elbow. Come on. Oh, right. Snapping out of it, Achi took the key and headed up to the next floor. Yeah. I'm sorry, Hitomi said as they entered the monitoring room. For just saying we were dating like that, I mean, it was a pretty clumsy lie. Oh. No, it was just kind of sudden is all. I was just a bit jittery, I guess. Achi felt his cheeks color again. I mean, I figured I had to say something or he wasn't going to cooperate, Hitomi said. She looked a little embarrassed herself. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make things weird. No, Achi said. Nah, it wasn't weird at all. Actually, it was kind of... He stopped himself there. Now wasn't the time for that sort of conversation. They needed to find that blue minivan. Jeez, look at this room. The surveillance camera monitoring room was really just a big office with a single computer. Achi knew it well. So, this is the monitoring system, he explained. He switched on the computer. You could see all of downtown Shibuya from this one computer. It's a loud computer. Hitomi gazed impatiently at the monitor, even though it wasn't showing anything yet. The look of sheer determination on her face held Achi enthralled. You talk about how attractive your sister is, Achi murmured. But as far as I'm concerned, right now, you're the lovely one, Hitomi. Hitomi looked at him uncertain. I mean, look at the lengths you're going to, and the risks you're taking to save your sister, Achi said. I can't bear the thought that something might happen to her, and the last time we were together I said such horrible things. Plenty of people do bad things without even realizing they're bad. Never mind trying to fix it. I'm just doing what I think is right. Yeah, but these days, most people don't do the right thing. Heck, if they did, Shibuya wouldn't be covered in trash like it is. Me, I appreciate it when someone really cares about the things that are important. Doing the right thing as a matter of course, that's very attractive. Achi blushed as he said it, and Hitomi shyly looked away. I think the system is ready. Turning to the computer, Achi hastily changed the subject. This thing's so simple even I know how to use it. Clicking on the mouse, he brought up a row of 4 windows on the monitor. Huh. There you go. Each window showed a different view of the Shibuya cityscape. The image quality's not great, but that's because it's being updated on a 2-second delay, I guess. Achi tapped on the keyboard, bringing up shots of different locations. He clicked on one of them in order to enlarge the image. Suddenly, I got an urge to get a Dell computer. I can't explain it. Maybe we can really find that minivan with this. Hitomi was practically glued to the screen. Meanwhile, in the void, my dad's the one who designed this security system. Your dad must be pretty amazing. Well, he graduated at the top of his class at Tokyo Denko University. A prestigious... Oh, this is just for 428. A prestigious national university founded over a century ago. Applicants who place highly on the entrance exam can receive a full scholarship. Achi's father was one such attendee. The school has supported extensive research into artificial intelligence and recently announced an AI program known as Body. While the computer is asleep, different personalities emerge, which have an impact on various normal thought processes, forming a network of more human-like thought patterns as a result. Interesting. Oh yeah, Meowington, yeah, maybe this is how they saw where Achi and Hitomi were going in the first place. Like Mr. Kane found them? I don't know, maybe. He always said he could have a career in computer engineering, or could have had, but he took over the electronics shop so that he could marry my mother instead. Well, that's such a sweet story. Did they run the store together then? Achi shook his head. No, my mother died when I was 4. Oh, I'm sorry. Hitomi sounded even sadder than Achi. Well, anyway, never mind that. Here, look. Yes! The seedy-looking weirdo they'd run into at Gigo was on the screen. Huh? That guy again? Said weirdo. I don't know if I've ever seen a game use that kind of language. Said weirdo was running all out. Like, that's a very verbal thing to do. Not really text. I'm not used to that. Huh. A laptop computer under one arm. He was being chased by a man in a long coat. That guy sure gets chased around a lot, huh? She said. When the weirdo slipped out of view, Achi switched to another camera. That's fantastic. The same weirdo? The new view showed the weirdo running again. By hopping from camera to camera, they could track him wherever he went. So long as we have these cameras, Achi said, this guy has nowhere to run. Nowhere to run, huh? The moment he said those words, it struck an odd chord in his mind. He remembered the repeated run-ins with the man with the cane, how the assassin seemed to always know where to find them. And there we go. Hello there, Galleon. Achi, please, Tomi urged. Stop messing around, let's look for the minivan. No, I want to see more Yanagishita. Sorry, there's just something I'm curious about. Achi continued to track the city-looking man. Ah, right, my bad. Achi switched over to a different camera. So A, more Minorikawa watching, which will end up at the knick-knack shop, or B, do the job. I get the feeling we're supposed to go to B. It's just that, like, even if we did A, we can't stop the bomb from going off, right? But then again, like, I don't know. Do we context? I don't know. I don't know where we go with this. A or B, ladies and gentlemen. We have 1 vote for A, 2 votes for A, because more Yanagishita, I guess. 3 votes for A? Damn, okay. 1 vote for B. 4 votes for A. Yanagishita forever. For real. Alright. The weirdo rushed into a knick-knack shop on Center Guy. Soon after, the man with the coat appeared and followed him into the shop. Aha! Looks like he snatched that guy's computer. Okay. Still, they remain glued to the monitor. Oh, that's me. Hitomi took out her cell phone. It's an email from Mr. Tanaka. Ah, okay. Yeah, it was about time for my mood to take a dip, Achi thought. What? Hitomi blurted. She looked up from her phone. Achi, Mr. Tanaka found the minivan. Oh no, it's a lie. He what? What does he say? Read it to me. Okay. I ran after it, but wound up losing sight of it. It was heading toward Jinan. That's what he says. What about your sister? Oh, we can jump over to Maria. Was she inside? He doesn't say. Achi switched over to an array of surveillance cameras near Jinan. The few seconds the transition took felt agonizingly slow. Finally, 4 new images popped up. Achi quickly enlarged one of them. Ah! Hitomi let out a tiny gasp. Oh, he wasn't even kidding! There on the monitor was the blue minivan, although I guess if he's working with them, there was no doubt about it. And Maria's not been in there for a long time, though. Achi and Hitomi rushed from the building, speeding toward Jinan in an all-out run. Run, Achi! Run, Hitomi! Run, other guy who's looking for Miku! Oh, Minorikawa's looking for her? Alright. Neither spoke, they simply dashed along in silence. That's true, they don't know his name. Achi felt as if they'd been running a marathon and the finish line had finally come into view. They hooked a left at the station and darted past the Seibu department store. Aha! Achi pointed as he came to a stop. The blue minivan was still there, parked by the curb along the slight hilly incline. Leaving Achi behind, Hitomi started rushing up the hill. Alarm bells started going off in Achi's mind. Someone from the kidnapping crew was in that van. It was dangerous to approach carelessly. Stay back! Don't get too close! Hitomi, wait! Is there a difference? But in any case, what should we do? Chat, A or B? A is for stay back. And B is for Hitomi wait. I don't know. And yeah, fuck, all these people have been running all damn day. It's ridiculous. Like, for hours. I really don't know if there's going to be any kind of difference with these options, but what are we going to do with this one? Yeah, Catsith, I also sense a bad end coming our way. So what should we do here? B? Anyone else want to weigh in? A. Alright. Stay back! Don't get too close! Achi shouted. But she didn't appear to hear his cries. Yeah, I don't think it matters. The hope of rescuing her sister had driven all else from her mind. Achi started to run after her. Hitomi had reached the vehicle already. She brought her face close to one of its windows, but the tinted glass obscured the view inside. Hitomi circled around to the minivan's other side. Achi saw her grasping at the door. She slipped out of his view for just a moment. Oh my god, full video? Oh! Whoa! What? Oh! That's a bad end. There was a thunderous explosion and a gout of flame tore the roof off the minivan like it was made of aluminum foil. Hitomi! Horrified, Achi charged through the roiling smoke, searching for Hitomi. He saw two figures sprawled on the street, several meters from the van. Yeah, that's gotta be what hit Minorikawa Cosgrove. Hitomi and Kanan. What? Hitomi, wake up! Wait, for real? Achi cradled her in his arms and her eyes drifted open faintly. Are you okay? Are you hurt? Hitomi didn't appear to understand him. Her only response was a blank, dazed look. There was a small patch of red on her face. Achi wiped it gently away with a finger. He saw no further signs of bleeding. She must have been splattered by someone else's blood then. You should see the other guy! As far as he could tell, she hadn't been gravely injured. Achi let out a sigh of relief. Hitomi, is she alright? Kanan stirred on the ground. Her clothes were scorched in places, and she was bleeding from her head. Kanan, did you save her? Is she alright? Yeah, what about her sister? Kanan didn't respond. No, it can't be. Achi went to look inside the van. Amidst the smoke and the flames, he could make out the outline of a body. Yeah, but we know it's not Maria, though. What happened here? Achi had to look away. Get Hitomi out of here. Hurry. If those guys show back up. Kanan's face twisted up with pain. Alright. Achi settled Hitomi carefully in his arms. Wait, I need to tell you something. Kanan's pained gasp called him back. Alphard. El Sai Kongru. Huh? Alphard? That's the name of the mastermind. What? I'm sure it'll come up again if you keep pursuing this. But if you value your life, don't get involved with Alphard any further. Now go. Okay, and thanks. With Hitomi in his arms, Achi hurried from the scene. He wasn't sure where he was heading. He just wanted to get away, wherever that meant. He carried her past the crowd of onlookers that had swiftly begun to assemble. The flames of the burning van rose ever higher, roaring up toward the heavens. Yeah, Fox. Die. To be continued. Damn. Okay. Well, we successfully made it through Achi's section surprisingly quickly. And now we have 2 jump points. One of them is Minorikawa and one of them is Maria. So whichever one of those we play... I mean, Minorikawa is stuck at a bad end, so we can't play him right now. So Maria can go up to a point where we have to jump to her. Or we have Osawa and Kano. So ladies and gentlemen, hello there, Winterburn. Who are we going to play as? Maria, Osawa, or Kano? Because Minorikawa is a no-go right now. How are we gonna do this? Right, Luke? This game sucks you in as soon as you get involved. So yeah, Kano, Osawa, Maria. Minorikawa's gonna have to wait. So, what are our votes going to be? Oh, can we see what the choice is if we don't follow Yanagishita? Yeah, I guess I could bounce back to that real quick. But in the meantime, we have 1 for Osawa. We have 2 for Osawa, 1 for Maria, 1 for Kano. So Osawa's winning right now. Oh, wait a minute. We have 2 for Maria and 2 for Osawa. So we're going to need a tiebreaker. One more for each, which is kind of funny, so we're still tied. Okay, Maria's taking over. Nope, Osawa again. We're still tied. Although now we have 3 votes for Kano, but Maria and Osawa are still winning. So my bad, different camera. What happens? He continues switching views, but there is no sign of a blue minivan anywhere. Still they remain glued to the monitor. Okay, that was the choice. It doesn't matter. So either way, we get to the to be continued. That was a non-choice. So there you go, Meowington. That settles that. So right, we have 3 votes for Kano, but Maria and Osawa are still winning, and they are still tied. Do we have any other? Oh, back takes me there. Do we have any other vote, or else I'm gonna have to determine. Oh, one more for Maria. Okay. So, remember, with Maria, we're only going to be able to get up to a keep out at best. The man with the cane, I forgot about that. He finally found Maria. But it's the wrong person. But he thinks it's her. He thinks it's Hitomi. Wait, hold on. Is my name Hitomi Osawa? At my shout, the man with the cane hesitates, his finger on the trigger. What do you mean by that? The barrel of the gun is still aimed squarely at my head. I mean exactly what I said. Is my name Hitomi Osawa? I don't know who I am. You're trying to play games with me. I'm not playing with anyone, I swear. I'm utterly desperate now. Getting killed is one thing, but who wants to die without even knowing who they are? Tell me, am I Hitomi Osawa or not? The man gives me a good hard look. Damn it. I wonder... He continues to study me along the barrel of the gun. Tell me what you know. It's an order, not a request. What I know about what? Look, I have amnesia. I quickly summarize what's happened to me since I woke up in that storehouse. The man listens intently, never taking his eyes off me. Ah, I see. So that's what's going on then. He just pieces out. Once I'm done with my story, the man with the cane sits down in an empty soda crate. Seems he believes me at any rate. That's a relief, if nothing else. So then, am I Hitomi Osawa? No. Then who is Hitomi Osawa? Is she someone who looks like me? Shut your mouth, the man spits. Just be quiet. His expression is vacant. What am I going to do? He mutters to himself. If I'm not Hitomi Osawa, does that mean you don't have any business with me? Seems so. In that case, can I go? The assassin doesn't answer. He lets his pistol hang limp in his hand, the muzzle dropping to point at the ground. It doesn't look like he wants to kill me anymore, but it doesn't look like he'll just let me go quietly either. I remain motionless, waiting for an opportunity to run away. I need to do something about that gun he has and then make a run for it. So, do we just stand here and potentially waste time, or do we go for the gun, but potentially risk our lives? Yeah, right, Fakafan. Suddenly I'm in the mood for a Coca-Cola. I couldn't imagine it. So, yeah, what are we doing? A, we wait for an opportunity to run away. B, we go for the gun and antagonize the guy, but maybe take him by surprise and escape. Who knows? What are we doing with this, ladies and gentlemen? 1 vote for A. Any more? 2 for A. 3 for A. 1 for B. 4 for A. 5 for A. 6 for... Okay. I might not make it in time, the man murmurs to himself under his breath. Not make it in time for what? I'm curious now, but this is hardly the time or place to try to find out more. I've learned for certain that I'm not Hitomi Osawa, which basically tells me nothing. I'm right back to square one on figuring out who I am. The assassin has gone quiet, sitting on a pile of crates. He seems lost in thought. Still, I don't dare try to get away. All I can do is stand and wait and mull over my own situation. Just who am I? I ask myself again and again. I am the Emperor. I am the Emperor. I will destroy and hate mankind. No, I have no business with you, the man finally says. Go. Don't worry. I won't follow you. I wonder if I can believe him. Maybe he's just trying to get me off my guard so he could shoot me in the back? Do not go to the police or back home, he continues. Lay low by yourself somewhere for a while. How long is a while? Until around sundown. This should all be over by then. It'll all be over? I have no idea what it is, but I decide not to pry in case he decides to change his mind. Okay, I'm going to run away now. Sure. I take a slow step backward. I've started to turn away when he speaks up again. Before you go, I need to tell you one more thing. What's that? When you get your memories back, I'm sure you're going to hate me. And so I apologize in advance. Oh boy. Of course I have no idea what he's talking about, but it makes me even more uneasy. I truly am sorry. Oh, because he's gonna, kill my sister? I've got no response for that, so I just give the man one last look before I turn and run. I decide to look for some place to hide out for a while, as the gunman suggested, but since I don't really know my left from my right in this town, that's easier said than done. Before I realize it, I've made my way back to the knick-knack shop where I bought the necklace. Everyone's going there! Maybe I could hide out in here? As I contemplate that possibility, I hear an all-too familiar voice! Tama, 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 Tama! He's just tied up. There's Mr. Yanagishita on the floor of the shop. He's been tied up with some rope. What happened, boss? Look, this is all just... I was framed! Nah, whatever's happened, I'm pretty sure it was all his fault. Just call it a hunch. He says I'm a thief. Well, I say he's the thief for selling stuff he finds around town. What? Hey, the sales clerk steps into view, scowling. Just what are you implying? What in the world is going on here? I haven't the foggiest. Tama! Help me! Please! Yanagishita kicks and squirms like a hyperactive child. Do you know this man? The sales clerk asks. No, well, I mean, sorta. He's a real pain. He's been making a scene like this for as long as he's been here. I find it hard to imagine a worse way to interfere with someone's business. I hate to ask, the clerk continues, but could you take him to the police for me? The police? Yeah. Oh, well, the police. The gunman did specifically warn me not to go to them. I feel no loyalty to that killer, but I am reluctant to antagonize him. And for reasons I can't explain, I have a strong sense that going to the police right now is a bad move. But Mr. Yanagishita isn't privy to my thoughts, and he looks up at me with a hopeful gleam in his eye. Yeah, that'll work. Tama can take me to the police, and then we can put this all behind us. All's well that ends well, right? Well, sure. Feeling like I have no choice, I leave the shop with him. Just tied up on rope. This is ridiculous. Okay, Mr. Yanagishita says excitedly as soon as we're out of earshot. Now let's go find Chiri. Huh? Aren't we going to the What? No! We're not really gonna go. Oh man, I am so glad you showed up, Tama. Now come on, let's go find Chiri. From the big grin on his face, I have an inkling of what's coming next. You thought of another get-rich-quick scheme, haven't you? Goodness, Tama, you can see right through me. It's not that difficult. It's practically written all over your face, boss. But Mr. Yanagishita isn't really listening. He's too full of enthusiasm. This time I got a line on 10 million yen! Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go make ourselves stinking rich. He punctuates his grand announcement by pointing fervently at some non-existent listener. That is amazing. That's like a Super Smash Bros. Brawl level of, meta humor right there. That's fantastic. What was that? Several weeks later? Oh, it was a bad ending. We should have, not done the thing. Iron Stomach. A celebration of truly astonishing appetites. And the Muddy Stomach triumphs over the endless cavalcade of Yeah! I stand with Chiri on the winner's podium. The cheers and applause are deafening when the Master of Ceremonies makes the announcement. Chiri is the champion. She laughs with delight as she holds up the trophy that signifies her 10 million yen win. And me? I got runner-up. Really? I wasn't too into the idea at first, but after giving it a shot, I found that professional gluttony kinda grows on you. Even as I was surprised by how much I could eat, I had to admit it felt kinda good. My memory still hasn't come back, but that doesn't matter anymore. I found myself a new purpose. Professional to steal Chiri's spot on the throne. That right there is now my greatest goal in life. What the hell? This is the stupidest ending. Oh. Oh, man. I love how many of Maria's endings are good, bad endings. The Throne of Gluttony. Tama never got her memories back. She ended up starting a new life on the competitive eating circuit, which may not be a horrible fate, but wouldn't it be better if she recovered her old life as Maria? When she was cornered in the alley by the man with the cane, there's someone who could have turned up and helped her out. Yanagishita. But he can't do that if he ends up getting tied up at the knick-knack shop. Oh, wow! So, like, no matter what I chose by the gunman, I would have ended up at this conclusion, because Yanagishita couldn't have saved us. So my choice to wait seems to be irrelevant. Yeah, right, Beta Bran, all of Maria's bad ends are just getting rich. That's amazing. By the way, here's a little trivia question. Does anybody know what I was talking about when I said Super Smash Bros. Brawl levels of fourth wall breaking? Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. In the meantime, I'll close out the stream by choosing the other option of the gunman just to see what happens, but let's see if the chat knows what I mean by Super Smash Bros. Brawl for the Wii, breaking the fourth wall. So let's go back to her choice here while waiting to see if anybody in the chat has any idea what I'm talking about. The solution is more Yanagishita. As expected, yeah, you are correct, Beta Bran. Wow, so next time I stream, it's going to have to be Osawa or Kano, because everyone else is blocked. Just think about the gun and make a run for it. I pick up one of the crates that are lying around in the alley and hurl it at the man with the cane. Then I book it right out of there. But this way we lose information, so I think I should go back to the first option. I run for a long time without looking back. When I finally do take a peek over my shoulder, there's no sign of the guy following me. Was this the correct option? This is Miku! And if Miku shows up, then Minorikawa could get saved. Slowing my run to a walk, I notice Miku, the girl I fought for those cases of burning hammer, sitting on a nearby staircase. Thanks for earlier, I call out. She gives me a puzzled look. You let me have those diet drinks from the knick-knack shop? Revelation dawns on her face. Oh, right! I didn't recognize you since you're not a cat anymore. What are you doing here, I ask. Just like, you know. She gives me a half-hearted smile. Say, where'd you learn Aiki Jujutsu? Huh? The question catches me off guard. I don't know what to say. Your Aiki Jujutsu, where'd you learn it? My Aiki Jujutsu? Now that she mentions it, that's a great question. I mean, I must have learned somewhere, or my body wouldn't have moved the way it did back then. I wonder who taught me. Try as I might, though, I can't remember. Yeah, right, Fakafan, the man with the case, keeps getting crated. Miku interprets my silence as a refusal to answer. She lets out an annoyed snort. Huh. What is it, a trade secret? Fine, then how long did you train? No, not that long, I guess. Probably. I'm just trying to avoid telling her I have amnesia, but she obviously thinks I'm being secretive. You know, she says angrily, after losing to you, I've completely fallen apart. I've lost everything. Do you know how that feels? To feel like you've lost a hold of the thing that makes you, you? I nod with conviction. I do know. I've lost things too. Like my memory. You do? Well, I just can't take this anymore. I'm having a complete breakdown of identity. Developmental psychologist Eric Hamburger Erickson was a key proponent of the concept of self-identity, the ability of individuals to continually and reliably know who they are and what they should do. Oh, Meowington, Solid Snake saying kept you waiting, huh? That's actually a good guess. I'll take that as an answer, although that's not what I was thinking of. I'll get into it in a little bit. I mean, I'm saying this having lost you and all, but a long time ago... Oh, do you mind if I tell you some stuff from a long time ago? Wow, so we either get, like, sensitive, potentially, like, we get, like, foreshadowing from the assassin, or we interact with Miku, so I don't know. Anyway, so a long time ago, is this the wrong choice? And so Miku launches into her story. You think maybe it is for the best if I quit? She asks at last. Cape Fear? What? On the lower right? Okay. By now, 15 minutes or more have gone by. I've listened to Miku go on and on about her teenage years because I feel bad about her getting her so depressed, but yikes. Yeah, this is probably the wrong choice. Beta Brand, yes, it is the snake character data things. She asked me all these questions I don't even understand, but although I'm starting to get sort of fed up with her angst, I keep my patience and respond as best as I can. If you love doing it, then I don't think you should quit, I tell her. Chances are, if you try to do something else, you're just going to go back to martial arts anyway. Besides, you probably owe it to the person who sent you down this path in the first place. You think so? Maybe you're right. Yeah, you are. Miku's face has regained a measure of cheerfulness. Thanks. I'm going to keep on practicing more and more so I get stronger. I'm not going to lose to you next time. I'll keep that in mind. I got no interest in fighting her again, but for now I'll keep that to myself. Alright then, see you around. With a parting wave, Miku hops to her feet and heads off. So 15 minutes is a time sink, but at the same time, maybe this was supposed to happen to get Miku over to the knick-knack shop? Yes, Michael Cosgrove, the Kodak calls. As I watch her leave, a feeling of jealousy wells up within me. Did I once have something I was that passionate about? I don't even know, because I can't remember. I just can't remember. That gunman, the one with the cane, he might know something about me. And at this point, I'm even willing to risk a run-in with a killer to find out more about myself. I decide to head back to where he was before. Really? Really? When I arrive at the alley, though, there's nobody there. Paradoxically, I'm both relieved and severely disappointed. Then I happen to notice something lying on the ground. What is it? Oh, damn. I pick it up. It's a notebook. Slipped into the back cover is a photo showing 2 boys and a girl. That looks important. Well, what do I do now? Do I go to the police? How would I even explain the situation? I could see it now. There's this killer out there, and he's after this person named Hitomi Osawa. And then the police would be like, who is that? And who exactly is after her? And then what would I say? Heck, they might not even give me the time of day in the first place. Not only do I not have any idea who Hitomi Osawa is, I know nothing about the guy who's after her except that he walks with a cane. I mean, I can't even tell them who I am. They'd probably shoo me away without a second thought. Meowington, the characters hitting the screen when KO'd Hard and Brawl. That is pretty fourth wallish. Again, I'll take that as an answer, but that's not particularly what I was thinking of. What am I supposed to do? I hang my head at a total loss. The necklace around my neck sways idly to and fro. There's the keep out. Okay, so maybe this was the right way to go after all. But then again, it says the other option would have been prevented if Yanagishita hadn't been tied up, so I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do. Either way, I guess I'll have to come back to this later. Osawa and Kano are the only options I have left right now, but I'm going to call the stream for tonight. But just for the record, the answer for my fourth wall shattering brawl option was if you use Snake's Kodak call and look up the Duck Hunt duo, it says, you know, they're a weird team because they fight as 2 and 1, but arguably they might even have like a third entity helping them out, and that's like you, the player, with the light gun in the original Duck Hunt. I thought that was pretty clever. So yeah, there you go. We have Kano and Osawa left because they're the only people we could do anything with right now, because Maria either has a bad end or a keep out, Minorukawa as a guaranteed bad end, and Achi's done. Achi's just done. So, I guess this is how it's going to be. So I'm going to call the stream for now, so thank you very much for attending the stream, and have a wonderful night.